Hey guys, today we're going to talk about Brett Cooper and why we love her. You know, Brett Cooper is or rather was the host of the comment section by Daily Wire, and she's no longer that. She got married, maybe wanted to change careers, or had a fallout with Daily Wire. But one thing we do know is that she's no longer the host of the comment section, her show, her previous show, her best show. She is now thriving on her new YouTube channel, which is named just Brett Cooper. And the Daily Wire cannot comprehend why do we love her for who she is. You know, they thought that if they're gonna replace her on the show with this new chick who supposedly is like mimicking all her moves and so on, that she's gonna take her place and that we're not gonna notice because the people from the comment section are not having it. We loved the show because of Brad, and even though I don't agree with everything that Brad says and had to say about different topics, I still watched her and I liked her content. So what we're going to do today is listen to Brett Cooper's unconventional upbringing. Let's go.
It all starts with gratitude. Now, some of you guys might know more of my story than others, but for those who don't, I did not have the most conventional or stable upbringing. It was turbulent, it was confusing, it was often dangerous for a young child. One of my brothers passed away at a very young age. Another brother of mine is a diagnosed schizophrenic. He was homeless for many years with me as his primary contact. Parents are divorced. I emancipated myself at 15 years old, if that tells you anything about what I went through. But as a child, I constantly asked myself, why me? Like, why is this going on? And those feelings of helplessness and anger were loud. But at 14 years old, and I'll never forget this, my mom handed me a journal, and she told me to write down 10 things every single day that I was grateful for. And these are like the bare essentials, you know, a home, a roof over my head, food on the table, a mom who loved me. And as silly as that sounds, and even when I'm saying, I'm like, oh my God, that was so silly what I was doing, it was transformative. My outlook completely changed, and suddenly the world as a teenager seemed a lot less dark. Because gratitude literally rewires your brain to focus on goodness and joy. That is scientific. It builds resilience in the process. It shifts your perspective, helping you navigate even the most chaotic of times, like we are living in literally every single day. It's getting a lot better, but it's been crazy. And as Americans, we have even more reason to be grateful. And yes, we fight for change. And yes, there are challenges that we will face, but we still live in the freest nation on earth. A place that millions of people from around the world dream of coming to. Our daily struggles are still somebody's dream life. There are people around the world, especially women, who would literally kill to be in this room with us, who would kill for the opportunity to be able to speak publicly about their values. And for me, that overwhelming sense of gratitude, that matters more than the daily squabbles that we see online, the social media slanders, the debates, the hit pieces, whatever they throw at us. That matters more. That gratitude is what gives me the peace and the perspective, and more importantly, the strength to focus on what actually matters. But not only those three things, this also gives me my purpose, which in my life is my second key to resilience. Because when you are driven by something that is bigger than yourself, these daily wins and losses matter less. You will not find this type of purpose in likes or clicks or viral moments. Those will not sustain you. I learned that the hard way. For me, purpose is waking up every single day with the goal of making the world a little more sane, to empower every single one of my viewers to feel a little bit more confident in their values, to leave a lasting legacy. That's what I think about every single day. It is the determination to one day be able to tell my future children that I stood firm in my beliefs, that I was not bullied into silence, that I fought to make the world better, and that I did it joyfully, that I showed up on my show every single day joyfully because it mattered.
Okay, so as you can see, she had a very rough childhood, but that didn't stop her from being a good person and from finding a purpose in life and for sticking to her values. I don't agree with some of them, which is that you must get married if you're a girl. You must have kids, so I don't agree with that. But I am happy that she stuck to her values and that she still found a purpose, although she had a hard life, and that she didn't let what happened to her in the past determine her future and present. She is now, I think, married, as I've mentioned. She quit her job at the Daily Wire, or she was kicked out. We don't know. I really hope she has a wonderful life and an even more successful career, because I really think she's a good person. And that's why people don't watch the comment section anymore, because she was the comment section. She's a young woman, a very young, smart woman. She has her own opinions and her own values, and she's trying, as she said in the speech, to make the world a little more sane every day and make people feel like they belong somewhere. Of course, those who don't feel like they belong in this crazy world that we live in today. The reason why I made some faces during her speech when she said everyone would kill to come to America is because no, we wouldn't. America is not what it used to be. It's not a very safe place to live. Where I am from, there are no school shootings. There are no daily shootings in malls and places like that. It's a lot safer. It's not the ideal place to live, but I agree that it's the freest place in the world where you can express your opinion without being punished for it. Except when it comes to COVID. I remember that everyone was censoring people who didn't agree with some of the stuff about COVID online. They censored people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter before Elon Musk bought it, or like bullying the people who didn't want to get vaccinated. I was one of them. They bullied me into vaccination. Regret getting that vaccine because it was not tested as extensively as a vaccine needs to be tested, and we don't know what happened with those vaccines. Are they doing harm? Are they doing good? We don't know. The reports on the studies, recent studies, don't say so. They say that they did more harm than good, but that's my opinion on it, allegedly. I think COVID was a big wake-up call for the world. They shouldn't have done that to us. They shouldn't have censored us and bullied us into wearing masks, not visiting our grandmas and grandpas or parents or, loved ones in general, because we could give them COVID and they could die.
You are the unvaccinated. You are the problem. It is the unvaccinated who are the problem, period, end of story.
The only people that you can blame, this isn't shaming, this is the truth. Maybe they should be shamed, are the unvaccinated.
It's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks.
Anyone you came into contact with will blame you, as will the rest of us who have done the right thing by getting vaccinated.
Because frankly, we know that we can't trust the unvaccinated.
I think it's time to get our moral house in order, Anderson. It's the unvaccinated who are the threat.
All of us vaccinated folks are going to start wearing masks to protect the unvaccinated folks. It's called a Christian value.
You're basically punishing the vaccinated for the sins of the unvaccinated.
People are not behaving honorably. The unvaccinated are basically saying, well, it's open season for me. I can do whatever I want as well.
The unvaccinated are basically beating their breasts and running around the country saying, we don't care, we're living free, and so forth.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
The unvaccinated, a group that includes children and people acting like children. And the rest of us are starting to get pissed off.
The vaccinated feel the unvaccinated are making me upset or angry.
This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Well, my freedom is being kind of disturbed here. No. Screw your freedom.
The other day, Howard Stern weighed in with a much different approach. Take a look.
When are we going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country and just say, it's mandatory to get vaccinated? Their freedom.
But you're treading on our freedom and you're making other people sick, and really you're killing other people.
The anti-vaxxers, they seem to have a thing for death and home remedies.
The anti-maskers turned anti-vaxxers are not just putting their own lives at risk. If that was the issue, we could just say that we can watch them compete to win place or show in the Darwin Awards.
We have to start doing things for the greater good of society and not for idiots who think that they can do their own research.
And don't get me started on the lunatics who won't take any of the COVID vaccines.
Life is too short to be an ass. Life is way too short to be ignorant of the promise of something that is helping people worldwide.
Maybe you're doing it because you're disconnected or disorganized. Maybe you have some sympathetic psychological reasons. But maybe you're just being antisocial.
Oh, you can't shame them. You can't call them stupid. You can't call them silly. Yes, they are.
Those who are not vaccinated will end up paying the price.
The unvaccinated should be taxed. They should pay more for health care.
We need to start looking at the choice to remain unvaccinated the same as we look at driving while intoxicated.
We're going to see, and I've said, almost two types of America.
Dr. Fauci said that if hospitals get any more overcrowded, they're going to have to make some very tough choices about who gets an ICU bed. That choice doesn't seem so tough to me. Vaccinated person having a heart attack? Yes, come right on in. We'll take care of you. Unvaccinated guy who gobbled horse goo? Rest in peace, Wheezy.
Pointing back to the unvaccinated who are really creating a problem in this country, every death that we are seeing from COVID could have been prevented.
Literally, the only people dying are the unvaccinated. And for those of you spreading misinformation, shame on you. Shame on you. I don't know how some of you sleep at night.
Also, the guy who promoted social distance was gathering people in his home, I think, allegedly. And he was having like sex parties, as I've heard. I'm not sure, but if you're creating those rules that you want people to follow, aren't you supposed to follow them yourself? Aren't you scared that you're gonna die or get your grandma sick? That's why people love Brett and others like her, because she did question the establishment. Russell Brand was also another great figure that stood up for people during those times. And yeah, we love those people because they are true to who they are. They are not bought by the government, and they only care about stating the facts. Thank you for watching, guys. Share in the comments below if you are a fan of Brett. Like, subscribe, and comment for engagement. See you in my next one. Bye.